What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the second album by rapper Big Mo. Basically, this product is called Purple World, and it came out in the spring of 2002. So the thing about this product here is this is like an early bird kind of Texas shine as far as this pitch can happen, just with the aspect of it here. Now, prior to this particular product, me listening to this product today and some of those type of fairs, I would look at the pitch. I didn't know super commonly much about Big Mo. I did know that he was deceased and died almost 20 years ago within those pitches. I remember when that particular happened. Fall of 2007 pitches like that, but for the most part, apart from like a song that he did with Mike Jones called Flossin', which was the third single off of Who Is Mike Jones from 2005, I didn't catch too many more verses that Big Mo dropped with other folks after like that 2005 album by Mike Jones. It just felt like he kind of dissipated in a mild type sense, but particularly Flossin' by Mike Jones was pretty appealing. Just the affability behind that song was just a real glaze, kind of orange skies kind of cruise around just with the pitch, kind of like a Texas fried version of like Biggie's One More Chance remix. Had that same sort of appeal. Now, obviously not as massive within those pitches, but just the format, just getting something of like kind of like a screwed up kind of DJ Screw type sound within the format. It is something that has like close to that, maybe not full bound close, but within the relative range of that surreal type feeling that Biggie did in 1995 with One More Chance remix. Was within that format, but the unfortunate thing is Mike Jones was never able to make another song with Big Mo like that, with that sort of appeal of Flossin', because he passed before Mike Jones was able to put out any further products, at least album-wise. It was just a pitch, but that was some good type of appeal, so I wanted to see what this cat was about. I might have caught him on like a couple other songs, don't know his full band. It seemed more like he was of the Texas orientation as far as other folks like that would have fucked with them. It's not like that would have been the only folks, but just as far as saying, there's some Texas folks on here. Pimp C is on here, which is pretty dope. Zero's on here, maybe once or twice. Big Hawk is on here, who's another deceased folk, unfortunately, within those pitches. Lil Kiki's on here. Little Kiki's on here, Big Pokey's on here, some of those particular type folks within the format. And there's also a particular production folk that I'm pretty familiar with. If you're familiar with the Mike Jones album, Who Is Mike Jones from 2005, Salih Williams, who's the cat that produced Back Then by Mike Jones and Still Tippin' by Mike Jones, is on this album a number of times. So he gets some pretty affable type productions on here. Now the only thing about it is this was kind of before Texas rap kind of hit mainstream in 2004, 2005. So way back in early 2002, this is before Texas rap really hit full-bound mainstream in 2004, 2005. So it's just the Salih Williams beats were back in 2002 before Texas rap hit mainstream in 2004 and 2005. And it's just within the pitch as far as saying within those affluences. Just a little bit more cookie cutter, and not so much cookie cutter in terms of like being recycled, but just the pitch is just more sketchy around the edges. This does have some affable moments on here, but I would say comparing this album to Mike Jones's Who Is Mike Jones from 2005, that one just has the better beats, just pitches like that. You're not going to find like a full-bound Still Tippin' on here, or a Flossin' quality of those particular type songs, or back then some of those type moments, just the big heavy stoke type products that you would have gotten from Mike Jones in 2005. It was just within the pitch. This is not a bad album. I mean, it's going to get a classic score, but it'll probably get a 10 out of 10 with an asterisk, because I realize that the casual embrace of this product is kind of minimal. I look within it. Big Mo is not the typical commonplace type dude. I feel like most commonplace type folks probably would not know about this folk, apart from maybe the fact that he's deceased and that he was on one of Mike Jones's early bird kind of big songs with Flossin'. But I think probably most folks probably wouldn't be able to name 4 or 5 songs by Big Mo within those pitches. Not like it's that not like it's that much of an offset, but it's just the pitches. It's not like he's that tough to fuck with, but it's just kind of pitch that he just did not have that many commonplace songs. But this does have a charting single within a relative pitch. The song Purple Stuff was a relative MTV hit according to Wikipedia, just in the format of it. And then he had a 2003 album which had a pretty decent sized hit as well. So it's just the pitch as far as saying, but he never dropped an album past 2003, which is unfortunate just in the appeals. But I look after it here. Just being able to say, so it's just the sketch kind of productions, which is not, that's what I was trying to say within the pitches as far as saying that this is going to get a 10 out of 10, but if I were to give this like a casual score, it might get more of like an 8.25 or an 8.5 out of 10, because I just look after it here. Some of these type of productions are just, like I said, not having the Mike Jones size hits, but it's also within the pitch that there's really not terribly many. I'll point out a few of the most immediate songs on here, but even the most immediate discs are not within like casual kind of consumption of something that just is like a dynamite that's just a staple out of the 2000s. I feel like Big Mo for the most part was kind of more secondary, and actually, in some sense, I don't even feel like Big Mo would have been secondary within rap music. Probably secondary in those days probably would have been like Slim Thug and like Lil Keke, some of those type folks. Paul Wall on the Right or Wrong Day, some of those type of appeals within the pitch behind it. Lil Flip on the Right or Wrong Day. So it's just the pitch as far as saying, I mean, Lil Flip was banner in certain sense, but just the pitch as far as that particular kind of went. So just some of those type folks, but just being able to say Bun B, some of those type folks. But this one the pitch as far as saying, I'd probably say Big Mo is more tertiary, where you just had to look a little bit, but he really did. I mean, I feel like Big Mo kind of got screwed over before he was able to really chart and start to get towards things, because he did have at least one hit per album on each of his albums. I don't know about his year 2000 album City of Syrup, but at least his later two albums, had some pretty good gems on there. But it's just the pitch as far as saying it's just not as casual bounce. I'd probably say casual score. Just because I feel like giving this album a casual score just within the pitch, because I realized that the aspect of giving this album a 10 out of 10, and people pick this product up and think, well, this is not as full-blown affable as like it would seem to be. It's just kind of the pitch that with, with the routine of how much I'm listening to rap music and just genres as a whole, pitch like that, it's just some real affable type stuff. But the casual wise type stuff within it, it just doesn't have Vine to Vine kind of stuff as far as like those aspects of something that's going to be all over the charts and pitches like that. I mean, the social score is pretty good as well. I'd say when you do get the connect about it, it kind of has that tone. I don't know. I might give this product 3 scores within the pitch. I'm not sure what I'm going to give the social score yet, but the casual score would probably get like an 8.25 or an 8.5. But really, out of 16 songs on this album that are not skits, there's really only 2 I don't recommend. But just to be able to say, yeah, there was one single off this album, and that's the song Purple Stuff. Which Purple Stuff was an MTV and VH1 bound single within pitches like that. Got some decent spins apparently within pitches like that. Good type fare. Don't know how high this song charted in like the Billboard charts, pitches like that, but seemed to be a pretty affable bop. Has over 2 million plays on Spotify, so that's pretty solid considering that he's just not as full bound commonplace with that within casual type fare. But Purple Stuff's like a low key kind of block party luncheon noise. Kind of get here within the aspects behind it. Just kind of some potato salad type music, basic kind of mingle pitches like that. Just kind of some backyard. Definitely say this is like a song for like some backyard tokes pitches like that. Just kind of where the front of the house, some of those type fares, just the television on, football games, or just pitches like that. Some of those type fares are just like the guacamole, the potato salad, some of those type moments, the nachos, the chips, the Tostitos, and some of those type pitches within the format of it. But I'd probably say near the back of the household and pitches like that where things would kind of be more outdoor type fast. I mean, obviously, if it's more family oriented, it'd be within a differential type pitch, but just the basic spot where it would be like some backyard tokas, some of those type fares, just a more kind of more neighborhood type crawl, but just not as ferocious within the conduct of like a real tear up type fashion. I mean, it's not like Red Cup kind of Jack Daniels and vodka everywhere pitches like that. Some of those type formats that just like busting out like the 10 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night and 1 o'clock in the morning type pitch. This kind of format is just kind of actually a pretty affable and kind of has the smart, has an affable and kind of smarmy type altitude, just something for like 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's kind of midday type fashion, just some luncheon noise, like I was saying, just potato salad type music within those pitches, so good type tones. It's real affable. And the thing about Big Mo is he does a lot of these hooks on here, so it's just within the pitch. He was kind of a sing-songy type cat. That's why I think he probably would have gotten larger later had he not passed before he did. It's just the pitch that if you like the hook off of Flossin' by Mike Jones, he has a few of these on here. There are some immediate type ones that are more sing-songy that are very similar to Mike Jones's Flossin'. They're kind of early bird type ones. Like I feel like at least the songs Feel Me and Parlay are like some good ones within those pitches that definitely harnessed that song 3 years before it came out. And those are actually and those 2 songs are actually some of the most immediate ones to go for on here in terms of the casual sense. So, yeah, the only 2 songs I don't recommend off this album is just Still the Bar Baby and then Purple Stuff Remix. The thing about both these songs is just the pitch behind them. They both have like a kind of choir-like and just more rambunctious type altitude. They just feel a little bit more kid-centric within the format as far as those fares going to happen. Particularly Purple Stuff Remix. I mean, I would definitely say that Still the Bar Baby kind of has like children's choir on that particular song, which kind of just makes it kind of here and there within the affability. Not to have like a full-bound problem with that, but it's just kind of like that. It's kind of like that I Want to Sing song by Trick Daddy off of his 2004 album. It just kind of feels more for like the laddies and pitches like that as far as those pitches kind of happens. It's just not as full-blown affable within the pitch. And Purple Stuff Remix was just kind of, that one just didn't nail it. I feel like the original Purple Stuff was good enough. I probably, considering that the song Purple Stuff is just about really getting tore up some of those particular type fares as far as talking about lean back in those days, I'd say within the pitch as far as getting towards it, that probably should have had. I think Salih Williams probably could have put out like a pretty more thorough kind of affable type one, something more that would actually feel like you're on syrup, like still tipping some of those type fares. But maybe it was just early, it's just kind of the pitch that Texas hadn't quite fleshed out as full bound. It was still kind of within somewhat of like the premature type stages, at least at that stage. But A lot of this album is a pretty good look for 2002. I think this was kind of something that was kind of like laying the foundation for some of that in a lot of senses. This is before, in certain senses, like Mike Jones and Slim Thug was kind of in his mixtape type days. Paul Wall was in his early stages. Chameleon Air, some of those type folks within the pitch. UGK was going through their prison sentence, so it's just the pitch of that. But so some nice ones on here. Thug Thing is a nice one. It's like a mid-pace kind of night venue hop to kind of get here. Just a low-key kind of kickoff, so I would definitely say this early bird kind of Texas. Thug Thing is like an early bird kind of Texas syrup kind of dance banger as far as what's going to happen. The song Thug Thing really feels like you're tripping off of some sort of perp within those pitches, so some definitely excellent aspects there, I would have to say. Parlay is a pretty immediate one. Like I was saying, I feel like Parlay, Thug Thing, Purple Stuff, Feel Me, some of these type ones are some of the most immediate on here. Now, there's not a super ton of these, but I'd say within the format, those are some good portions. Definitely the songs that reminded Mike Jones Flossin', the sing-songy type ones are pretty good. I'd probably say When I is a relatively good, modest type one. That's a little bit more makeshift type one. The only reason why When I is a modest type one is just because it's more makeshift bound. But in terms of like recreational type fare, there's definitely some good kind of golden eyes type fashions about Parlay and Feel Me. And I'd say within the pitch, that Purple Stuff and like Thug Thing are like some low key type ones to be loaded to as far as what's pitching out. But When I is another immediate one. But yeah, just being able to say. Yeah, I think I was getting ready to talk about Parlay. Parlay is like a vintage kind of smooth dip kind of gloss. I'd say with an aspect here, just an early bird kind of Mike Jones floss, and I'd say within pitches like that, it's kind of some gold eyes, kind of dangerous within those particular fares. Just a good song to simp to. There's just a pitch as far as saying it's that Tibble type format. It's ripped out of like an orange sky or pink sky kind of evening. Some of those particular type aspects that just like the embrace, like a lazy kind of cruise around, just enjoying like the date and spoke. Some of those type formats within pitch and just like easy kind of gloss about it. Pretty affable and melodic as far as this fair is going to happen. It's the same thing with Feel Me. I'll go ahead and talk about this one as well. Feel Me is like a glazed and slummish kind of Texas thug pain to kind of get here. So it's a pretty good original lane to have here just from the pitch about it. Kind of harnessing some of those type vibes, like trying to think of like, I feel like in a lot of senses, Big Mo for like a certain short while was kind of like a Texas version of Nate Dogg or some of those type folks, just kind of doing like the R&B type hooks. He was able to put out his own hooks, pitches like that. I think that's probably like, it's very unfortunate that he passed just in many senses, because I look after just seeing some of these hooks out this album, I get the feeling that there probably would have been a lot of folks from like the Texas area that probably would have fucked with him out once Texas got past like his breakout moments. Some of those pitches I probably would have said, I guarantee UGK would have fucked with him past 2006, and Trey the Truth and Paul Wall would have been great to have seen Big Mo do a song with Paul Wall. Just a bunch of those folks just within those aspects kind of would have been some good type fare. But Feel Me is like some good flossing like cruise out as far as this first going to happen. So there's a number of songs that just have that cruise type factor within the fashion, just like some lazy kind of evening, some of that particular type fare. Good moments like that. Another one within those tones would be When I. It's like an evening. When I is like an evening kind of leftover task wrap up to kind of get here. Just orange dredgy kind of grit within those aspects. Just some usual day slack I'd have to say, and just kind of some urban makeshift. Now, in my opinion, When I is not as comfortable within the pitch, but just kind of the format of just getting some straightening going within the task of just like the relative kind of, it's just more wind down type fashion, but still kind of with enough energy and grit to be able to just get the concept of this getting mapped out within those fair as far as those pitch kind of. So just typical kind of Texas evening malaise within some type pitches, just in the format, just kind of, yeah, some urban, some leftover urban makeshift, hustlers makeshift as far as those fairs going to happen, just good pitch. SUC, which stands for Screwed Up Click, is a nice one. This reminds of like a Tupac kind of Heaven Ain't Hard to Find. The song SUC, Screwed Up Click, reminds of like a Tupac Heaven Ain't Hard to Find type tune within those pitches off of All Eyes on Me. It's like a breezy kind of commerce day, I'd have to say here. Just feel good and kind of some smoke fair as far as this pitch kind of. So just very airy within the format. Just feels very lofty within the pitch, just in the clouds, some of those particular type formats. Just kind of just real mapped out kind of feel good type tones within those pitches. Just very much like the breezy kind of loft type aspect within that particular song about it. Just very... It's like the particular summer balm about that one. There are some ladies songs on here that have some good effectualness with it. There are some ladies songs on here that have some good catchiness as well. I'd have to say like Dime Piece is one of those, like a groovy and smoother kind of hotel and fashionable steps kind of get here, just feeling glazed but kind of awake with it. The song's like a feeling glazed from Smokish but still awake within the format of songs like a feeling glazed from Smokish but still awake within the format of it, kind of fun within those pitches as far as the fair kind of happens with it. So some of these type ones, I'd say Dime Piece within a certain sense goes along with Screwed Up Click, some of those type ones, but just within the format, yeah, it's just kind of the format, it just goes in combination with SUC. And there's another one on here that's pretty much within that format as well. I'd say The Letter is a nice one. It's like a low-key kind of neighborhood gab to kind of get here, to speak your piece, pitches like that. It's kind of within the format of it. Chocolate Swisher type tune for Bella's, pitches like that, just getting goodies and having some memes, pitches like that, standing fair to kind of bop to as far as this pitch kind of happens. So just more neighborhood within the appeal. I feel like Dime Piece is just a little bit more amidst like hotel type fashions or just more fashionable type moments, just out in like a smoother type fashion. But the letter's just more low key, just within the letters, just more Netflix kind of low key type fashions within a chillax type fare. So good type pitch for that. Real nice one in an evening rile types. Real nice one in a turn-up type sense would be It's About to Go Down. This has a Lil Flip feature on here. There's some other folks on here, but Lil Flip's pretty notable type one within some of these type fares of it. This is like an evening riler to kind of get this makeshift kind of break free, I'd say, within pitches like that. It's kind of the concept of just got done with things probably like 15 or 35 minutes ago. Some of those type fares, it's kind of a lazy cruise out some of those particular type conducts. The same sort of fare as like Feel Me and Parlay, some of those type ones, but just not an R&B song. It's like a good supplies pickup to kind of get here. So just getting like lighters, box of beer, some of those type formats, getting a couple, getting some goodies, some of those particular type aspects, figuring out how things are going to happen. Yes, there's just some good excitement about the song It's About to Go Down. I would definitely say Confidential Play is a nice one as well. This has a cat on here that really sounds like Ron Isley. Confidential Play is another R&B smooth type one. This has a cat on here that really sounds like Ron Isley pitches like that. Some good type fares. It's like a dredgy unwind from like hustle shifts, I'd have to say here. Just some Pink Skies kind of mid-cruise kind of pitches like that. Just drive through some of those particular products. Just hitting up Popeyes, hitting up KFC, some of those type places, hitting up Burger King, some of those type aspects with it. Just a good yum type song within the aspects. So just good, tasteful type one within the aspect. Really has some affability. This would probably be another immediate type one within those fashions. A lot of these, I do feel like Big Mo has a pretty good affable sense of having like some R&B type vibes on here, and that really, those are some of the strength you're kind of shine through type moments. So there's just a series of these that work pretty well. Confidential Play is actually one of the most popular songs off the album according to Spotify, so some good type pitches there. The title track Purple World is a nice one as well. It's like a basic underground kind of grind cut to kind of get just a rundown type tune. By rundown I just mean laying game down some of that pitches, just saying how it is, pitches like that. Just kind of an initial kind of venue. It's like some initial kind of venue dap pitches like that, just the conduct of like the meetup type moments and just fares of just chat and gab, some of those type formats within the pitch, and this is like some good night map out to kind of get within those products. So just the initial kind of venue noise. Not actually a ton of venue songs on here, I'd say, within pitch. For the most part, this is not as much of like, I mean, this is a flossing album, but it's more in a vehicle type sense. So in terms of like the stunt type tunes, there are some neighborhood jaunts on here, which is good, but in terms of like actual nightclub moments and mingle, it's not as full bound within that. Would have been a nice moment to have gotten something, but I still think within the fare, this is kind of an early bird type album, like I was saying. It's just the pitch of some of these type ones. And there really weren't a ton of Texas rappers really doing like night venue songs to that blistering degree back in those days. So it's just within the pitch as far as same with some good type formats. I think the only other song I haven't talked about on here within a certain sense, I don't think I've talked about Mashin' for Mine. I don't think I've talked about Cash. So I'm going to talk about Cash first. Cash is like a raw and straight up kind of hop to it to kind of get here. The song is like an out in the wind kind of late day breeze kind of have within those aspects. It's kind of a sparky kind of awake kind of jaunt as far as those first happen. So just snack run type music or just pitch like that, getting some last minute tasks taken care of, just the form of just being within the evening type motions. So Cash is just to miss like the late day slagging activity as far as what's first gonna happen, just in a more bustle type sense that I'd say, just being productive, I'd say within it. Mashin' for Mine's a pretty bopping type one. This reminds like Big Timers from 2002, I'd say, within those pitches. It's kind of, this song's like a slinky and usual fare kind of hop and bop to kind of get within those aspects. Just another snack. It's like a good snack run and pickup type fare within the pitch behind, just getting standard fare type goodies, whether it is just like a mild grocery store run or some of those type formats that just kind of neighborhood strut some of those type pitches within it. It's like a spare bit to kind of have. By spare bit, I mean just the format, just having like extra thoughts, extra time, some of those type moments that just not some outing type shine to kind of kill some. Mashin' for Mine is like some outing type shine to kill some time as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just getting like an extra couple bit of goodies and just wait for some homies to show up or a nearby bell or some of those type pitches in the format. So it's just the aspect as far as saying. So it's just the aspect as far as saying. So yeah, classic album within those pitches, just within the format as far as those pitches going to happen. So I think I talked about all 13 or 14 of the songs that would be to recommend on here. Actually, there might be one more. I don't think I talked about We Won't Stop. We Won't Stop is like a basic outing kind of with the shit, kind of neighborhood prowl to kind of get within these aspects here. Just productive kind of grind mode and a blitz type song kind of get. Yeah, We Won't Stop is just a straightforward kind of bustle tune, just with the pitch behind it still amidst like the product of like Dayfare, some of that particular type aspect, just some wrap ups and just the product of like in a mode just getting heavy. It's in a mode, just typical kind of heavy push as far as those formats can happen. So just within the aspect of it. So yeah, I would say now I think I've talked about these ones on here within those formats. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. The Casual score would probably get like an 8.25 or an 8.5, some of those type pitches, because there are some immediate ones on here, but I feel like a number of these, some of these grind type songs are good, but they are a little bit abrasive and plotting within certain senses. I mean, I fuck with them as just kind of within pitch, and more of a casual type sense might not be as much. These lady songs are good, but I look within the format that they're just more schmooze type fashions, more so than like a kinetic type energy. There's really not a blitzing type song on here in terms of the crazy type factor. I like the approach that Big Mo kind of did on here with his lead single, this within the pitch. The only single off this album is just kind of a luncheon type song within the pitch. It's just more potato salad type music as opposed to really getting hammered or getting fucked up and really having like a crazy type time. So it's an interesting format that is just a little bit not so much full bound family friendly, but just not vicious and ferocious in the approach of how it did it. It's just a little bit safer within the format, with some good type appeals. Has the appeals and good type appeals within it, and I look after it just kind of, there's some evening dredge on here. There's some songs that harness like an early bird type fashion. The song Flossin' by Mike Jones, you do get some R&B type ones within those pitches, some good smooth type factors, and some snack run type songs. So it's just in the pitch as far as it has the format, but the social score I would probably say I'll give the social score maybe. I think the casual score and the social score are kind of within the relative aspect, but I think once you connect with Big Mo, it's a little bit more affable in a sense. I'd probably say the social score would get like a 9.25. Just being able to say within the format that it does have some gems on here. Like I said, some of the immediate ones would be Purple Stuff, Parlay, Field Made, Confidential Playa, When I, some of those type ones. I'd probably say also songs like The Letter and Dime Piece are some smooth type ones within the fashion. Thug Thing's a pretty nice venue type bop. And there's another venue song on here that I was forgetting about that I just said a moment ago that I don't remember. But, oh yeah, Purple World within some of those type pitch. So it's just the format as far as saying it has that particular fare. So social score gets a 9.25. In terms of the future, the unfortunate thing is Big Mo is deceased and has been for almost 20 years. It's within the pitches. Now, there is at least 3 albums from what I saw. There might be the occasional mixtape or something like that. For the most part, it seems like Big Mo kind of seemingly skipped over like the DJ Drama kind of mixtape type fare. Would have been real awesome to have gotten like a Gangsta Girls type tape, something like that would have been within those formats, or just some further DJ Screw type stuff, some of those type pitches that as that started to blow up in like the mid-2000s would have happened too. It felt like he kind of phased out. Big Mo kind of phased out after like the early 2000s, but just from the pitch, he was kind of mildly floating around. It's just an aspect that this is some of the almost most recent stuff that he's done within the pitch. But just to say, social gem within a format. This has its quirks about it that make it affable within the pitch of that particular fare, but it's just kind of the format as far as saying it's not a huge casual splash and pitches like that, but it's not to say it's bad. It just takes a learning curve within the pitch behind it. So I'd say 10 out of 10 score, 9.25 social, 8.25 or 8.5 casual. Just the pitch as far as saying, but this is a pretty banging type product within the pitch. Once you fuck with it, it has some good type appeals.